Before that, let's circle back to our top story and brace for more sticker shock at the grocery store. The world's biggest palm oil producer has banned the export of all palm oil products. It's the most widely consumed vegetable oil on the planet and used in nearly half the items on supermarket shelves. That's everything from cakes to cosmetics and cleaning products. Indonesia is the top producer of palm oil, followed by Malaysia and Thailand. Palm oil accounts for 60% of global vegetable oil supply, thus also making Indonesia the world's top vegetable oil exporter. It exports some 30 million tons per year. That's more than a third of all vegetable oil exports. So it's safe to say the export ban will have a heavy impact on countries all over the map. China and India will bear the brunt of the impact as the world's largest importers of Indonesia's refined palm oil. One analyst says India's supply of edible oils can only cover 3 to 4 weeks of demand. Pakistan and Bangladesh are also major buyers. Indonesia's decision comes as a shock to markets amid fears that a total ban could worsen global food inflation. And it's only adding to uncertainty in a market that suffered dizzying price swings due to the war in Ukraine.
For an expert's take, let's bring in Satya Varka. He's the owner and co-founder of Palm Oil Analytics. Now, the export ban starts today and has been expanded to include all forms of palm oil. This can't have been an easy decision for the world's biggest exporter.
Yeah, that's right. So palm oil export ban comes into effect today. So the expectation was the ban will be widened, and that was confirmed late yesterday. So the ban will now include crude palm oil, RBD, palm oil, and palm olein, virtually sucking out about 1.5 million tons of global supply a month. So it will have a very massive repercussion on prices. And the question then is, who else is going to make up for that shortfall?
So who is going to make up for that shortfall? Are we going to see Malaysia and Thailand being able to step in?
So Malaysia does not have sufficient supply. Malaysia has been facing a perennial problem of labor shortage. So that's one big problem. And then you have the Ukrainian sunflower oil that is virtually out of the market. And soybean oil supply from South America has been dented with the drought conditions there. So we are facing severe shortage of edible oils just when the prices are already at an accelerating 10-year high levels. There will be very limited additional supply from Malaysia. I don't think there is sufficient other related oils that can make up for that massive shortfall from Indonesia.
You mentioned sky-high prices. Global prices for crude palm oil have surged by more than 50% since late last year. What does this export ban mean for other countries around the world then that rely on Indonesia's palm oil?
So that's a very good question. So countries like India, China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Egypt are heavily dependent on Indonesian RBD palm olein. So with these, we can expect supplies to be very, very tight, prices to be very high, food price inflation to be accelerating, and there will be looking to switch to other oils desperately, whichever countries can supply. I don't think there is going to be an easy solution, but this is a very critical moment, especially with the Eid festival coming up in Indonesia, Malaysia, and the vast Middle East countries. So we are walking into an unknown territory with high prices, short supply.
And how long do you think we will remain in this unknown territory? And we have Jokowi talking about how this ban could be ended if the local needs are met, but there's no guarantee that the export ban will actually help to bring down the prices. I mean, in January, we saw it trying to influence the export output, but to limited success.
That's right. So the policy making has been a bit erratic, and this has caused prices to rise frantically volatile, up 100 ringgit and down 200 ringgit and up 400 ringgit again. So traders, brokers do not like such an uncertainty in the market. The president of Indonesia has also said that prices may cool in the next 15 to 20 days. So we do not know. Domestic prices have cooled down a little bit, but it's really unclear because Indonesia, although it's the biggest producer, Indonesia is not price maker. Indonesia is not a price maker. So we will be in an era where there will be two different prices. One, domestic Indonesian prices at a low level and very high global international prices. So there is no guarantee that such a policy will ensure sustainable low prices within the Indonesian domestic market.
Indonesia's President Joko Widodo has said that he's putting his people first over a revenue. Just help us understand exactly, what that equates to in like a dollar sign of sacrificing export prices to provide his people with lower cost of palm oil.
Yeah, so I think the government has realized that it's a bit ironic that Indonesia, being the largest palm oil producer, is facing a shortage of supply within the domestic market. So it feels like the government has panicked and decided to impose an ultimatum to stop any outflow of palm oil, because the edible oil is it's an essential food item. So it's the duty of the government to ensure that there is sufficient supply in the market, whether it's banning, offering subsidies, imposing quota. I think the government is trying to throw all kind of policy instruments to ensure sufficient supply. But as I said, there is no guarantee that the prices will be low at a sustainable level. And we will have to see in the next few 15, 20 days.
And does this also mean that there's no guarantee that we won't see this again, export ban of this nature coming from Indonesia? Because we see how they are pivoting to those domestic concerns as global food prices continue rising. Given the war in Ukraine, this is going to be a recurrent issue.
That's right. So global palm oil prices are now driven by domestic policy agenda. The outlook is going to be a very tight market in the short term. But remember that if Indonesia is going to stop exporting from now, there is going to be stockpiles building up, and that might ease supply in the months ahead. So prices are high, but may not be high for very long. Prices will be easing as the supply from Indonesia comes out. And also remember that Malaysia is going into peak production period in August, September, and October.
Satya, thank you for sharing your expertise with us in this field. Satya Varka, owner and co-founder of Palm Oil Analytics.